Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and welcome back to HIMedia Headlines for September the 18th, 2025. We got a quick show for you today. Oh, God. Alright, so let's talk about the big one. Alright, Intel and Nvidia are coming together and are combining their CPUs and GPU technology to make APUs. So what this means is for things like microcomputers, which are tiny but are relatively powerful, but don't necessarily have, the GPU space to do it. Basically, Nvidia is buying a $5 billion stake in Intel, and with the insane market capitalization that Nvidia has, and the issues that Intel's been suffering, I would not be surprised if this is the first step in the market consolidation of Nvidia buying Intel, which I am broadly against, because that is just more consolidation of the market, it's more monopolistic, and now you're just going to have two companies that build APUs. You have AMD and you have Nvidia. And I'm kind of frustrated by that. I generally don't like to get anything close to the realm of political and high media headlines, but this is kind of bad for us as consumers. I think that the fallacy of consumer choice and that being the primary motivator is not really something relevant with the giant companies that exist today. But even then, this is just even less power we have as consumers, even though we already had basically none. We already have basically none as consumers. It's just even less. And I'm concerned about this, broadly speaking, and if a merger like this was to happen, it would be, there's no reason why this current government wouldn't let it go through. They let their patent office let Pokemon patent the summoning creatures mechanic, broadly speaking, which is, just a damning ramification across the board for multiple different games, especially in the future, i.e. see the Nemesis system that WB patented and made 2 games and then never touched it again. I don't know. It is profoundly infuriating, and I don't know what to do from here, but what I do know is that this pisses me the fuck off, and it should piss you off too, to some degree. We might get some better products out of this, but in the long run, this is gonna fuck us as Americans. Moving on to the MBNE Index. The MBNE Index is how we here at HIMediaTV gauge the health of the American economy, looking at the store brand price of milk, bread, and eggs from major American retailers. The current MBNE Index stands at present at $9.99, with Aldi's at $7.27, ShopRite at $11.88, and Walmart at $7.37. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to High Media Headlines for today, September the 18th, 2025. We appreciate you, your time, and your viewership. You are very important. If you enjoyed this show, please consider listening to some of our other podcasts at HIMedia.gg/pods or wherever you get your pods. And if and only if you can swing it financially, please consider going to HIMedia.gg/tip and or HIMedia.gg/perks, and consider subscribing to us monthly for $3 a month. You get tons of really cool perks on our Discord, all of which is laid out at HIMedia.gg/perks. Again, that's HIMedia.gg/perks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to High Media Headlines. We appreciate you, your time, and your listenership, and have a wonderful rest of your day.